It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast with Lydell, Dinero, and Hugo Twilight.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Lydell Dinero in the building. You know what it is. It's time for another episode of the Best of Bias podcast, starring yours truly, Lydell Dinero. And of course, we got AK in the building, like we always do. At this point, he's pretty much the co-host of this podcast, you know what I mean? Because he's here like every week. So basically, we're going to get right into it. We got pop culture topics, man. The stuff that you may have heard about, stuff you may not have heard about. And we got to give you our reflection on it, how we feel about it. And there's a lot of stuff to get into. First and foremost, like I like to do, how you feeling today, AK? How you feeling?
I'm doing okay. I actually got a day off this week, so I mean, I get one off every week, but it's random as fuck. So it is.
But you feeling re-energized and ready to get some of that bias out there for the people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, what's up, people? Hope you're listening. It's another episode. So without further ado, let's get into these topics. Starting with the Dave Chapelle stand-up.
Shit was classic.
Have you seen that shit? The new Dave Chapelle stand-up. Yeah. The title, I'm not remembering right now. What was the title called?
The Closer, I think.
The Closer, yeah. It was his last stand-up, I think, on his Netflix contract.
For now, he said. His last one for now.
Right.
Yeah.
This one probably made him so much money in publicity and stuff like that. I think they're probably gonna sign him for another couple. He needs some more money. Oh, yeah, he doesn't need it, but his art deserves more money, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, what he's doing is a big thing for right now with the way she's going down with this whole cancel culture, which is just like a big ass plague on shit.
Yeah,
and he doing his thug thizzle.
Yeah, a lot of shit in there. There's a bunch of key points. People think he's transphobic, you know what I mean? So it gave him an opportunity to kind of joke about the fact that people think he's transphobic and to give his own stories and experiences with transphobic people that he knows, people that he, thinks he hates trans people that come into his face and try to trap him into saying stuff that'll get him in trouble. And it's just wild. And it's just kind of genius to me how he made up the whole premise and was able to have the conversation in a way that proved that he wasn't transphobic. He just wanted people to know that he didn't 100% agree with all of the trans people's beliefs. Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily make him transphobic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's funny because like a lot of stuff he says, it makes sense. Of course, he's doing it in a comedic way, but it makes sense. And it's funny how like they will make such a big deal out of something like he's like the whole impossible pussy thing. That shit was fucking hilarious. But it's like, what's wrong with saying that? Okay, we'll agree that you're a woman, but you're not a female. You're not the same like category. It's a difference, and the fact that they just don't want to see a difference, and it makes no sense to me. It's like there's clearly a difference there.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
So I mean, he said it in a way I guess they didn't agree with. But the funny thing is a lot of the people trying to cancel that shit. Like stated, if you read the comments, they stated, I would never watch a Dave Chapelle stand up, this and that. We have to cancel him. It's like, well, if you didn't watch it, how do you know what the hell he was talking about?
Right.
Like, he actually was like, the shit he was saying was like, it was comparing it to like other important stuff, like, the fucking black movement and whatnot, and how much more traction this has than that.
Exactly.
And the little baby comment was fucking hilarious and something really to think about, actually. It's like, this man, he killed another black man. That didn't derail his career at all. But then he makes some, people mad from a certain, I don't want to say demographic. I don't know what you would call it. I guess from a certain area or group, a certain group mad, and that's enough to derail his career.
Yeah,
you can take a black man's life at a Walmart and be just fine.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts to think about. His jokes are hilarious. At a certain point, it's like, of course, it's comedy, but it's like at the same time, he's really trying to bring your attention to something. And it's like he plays it so well. He's a great talker on the stage, you know what I'm saying? Like he can lead you to believe that he's talking about one thing, but he's so good at right there at the end, connecting it all and getting you to realize, you know, you're getting so mad over this when all this is happening and you're just still not accepting it or not even, you know, just not even trying to understand.
Exactly.
Until I say something about this group of people that has enough people to try to like bring attention to it. And I guess he is bringing attention to it in an adverse way, in a different way.
That's the funny thing is like he'll make comparisons that make sense. I mean, of course, he's doing it in the comedic ways again, but he'll make comparisons to stuff that just makes so much sense. But they'll still be like, "Nah, fuck that, cancel that, cancel." Like,
Exactly.
all right, I guess.
He was
The
like,
fuck?
he was even saying during it, if you're listening to what I'm saying, you'll understand. I have no problem with trans people. They think I do, and we just don't understand each other. We just need some kind of understanding, and maybe it'll be better. And you'll understand that I'm not transphobic. I'm just not 100% believing in what you guys are believing in. Or I shouldn't say you guys,
Yeah,
actually.
and not to mention they completely like with that way they're going at him like that, and the way they go at everybody about shit like that. It's like getting rid of the whole freedom of speech thing. It's like,
Yeah,
I mean, if you look at the Ku Klux Klan, they've been allowed to march and do all kind of crazy shit
right.
forever,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I'm not tripping off, but let them march, let them go out there and preach their hate, because at least I know who to fucking avoid. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
It is what it is, but let them have let them have the freedom to go out there and do all that stupid shit.
right. Yeah,
And that's part of this country apparently is you have freedom of speech. You
yeah.
can preach whatever dumbass propaganda or idiocy, whatever. I can't say the word right, but
Idiocy, you were there.
yeah, but you can do any of that shit, and that's what you're supposed to be able to do. I mean, the
Yeah,
media does it. The media does it all the fucking time.
right.
So
They
yeah,
spin it all the time. Just yeah, they give you what to be angry about. They show you what makes you angry to try to push an agenda. Definitely
yeah.
get it.
And not
Definitely
to
get it.
mention, it makes comedy like I mean, I think it makes comedians have to be more creative in what they say because they have to tiptoe around certain subjects.
Right,
But at the same time, I feel like it takes a lot away because like there's a lot of funny shit that could be said that is just taken out the equation because of this stuff. People want to be politically correct when they speak,
right,
and I think comedians. I mean, of course, they have a line, but it's like that line is commonly pushed, and that's what makes great comedians sometimes. And nowadays they do that. They can say some fucking hilarious shit, some really creative hilarious shit, but get canceled all at the same time. So that's a big
right,
fear there. So
right.
yeah,
Yeah, and I feel like also it's just tough because you can count on Dave Chappelle to stomp and cross that line all the time. So we
but
kind of
that's
look for.
also because he's at that status where he can do that though.
Exactly, exactly. And we want
Yeah.
our comedians to do that because that's the funny stuff. We like to laugh at ourselves. And I feel like sometimes when people are too sensitive and,
Hmm.
take comedians' jokes too far and think about it too much, I think that's where the art gets lost. And we start to get a little too sensitive. I get it. I get it. Because, Dave Chappelle, especially with the story that he told about his friend, it gave you a kind
Hmm.
of introspective view on actually how Dave Chappelle is. And he doesn't really have that hatred in his heart at all, but people want to believe that. And that's the narrative, like you said, the media is pushing. So that's what everybody's going to believe. And it's really sad. But Netflix, and I feel like I'm proud of them for giving him that platform to
Definitely.
speak his piece. And they're not taking it down, though those people did a
Yeah.
stage that walk out inside. I don't mean to say those people, the people that actually were working for the company walked out on the company because they kept Dave Chappelle stand up on when he was telling all these jokes. But I feel like everybody got the jokes. He joked about everybody in the stand up. Jewish people he joked about. Of course, white people he talks about. He even broke it down at the end. He said, I don't hate trans people. Basically, I hate white people. he was just go he was just going in at the end, just kind of like not those words exactly, so don't quote me, but if you watch the stand-up, he puts it brilliantly. He's able to speak his piece. Just
Definitely.
like if you guys were mad, I mean, about this one, the stuff that he was saying and the way he just got on stage and talked real shit. I feel like people are paying way more attention to this stand-up than when he did that 6 or
Hmm.
however long it was in his backyard where he just ranted on the George Floyd and stuff like that. It was just a lot. And for this to get more attention than that kind of like proves his point at the same time. Stuff that he says about this community is way more important than the points and the meanings and everything he was trying to preach at the last stand up. Not even a
Yeah,
stand up. It was a
it
fucking
wasn't a
spoken
stunning because
word. It
I
was
don't think
spoken.
any. It was no. It was just him talking. Like it was like it was
Exactly. Getting
him
his
just
feelings
like
out.
just venting. Yeah, and I mean you have to package it a certain way sometimes, but it's funny how this one gets more attention simply because of the people who got upset by it.
Right.
And I thought it was fucking hilarious. The whole part about Daphne and his homegirl,
Yeah.
Frisco. Like
Hmm.
the way he played that out was hilarious, you know, especially when he was talking about how fucking horrible she was doing her stand up.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
yeah, he talks about that and then he, breaks it down to, that she committed suicide and whatnot. But the way he like delivered the very end of it, talking about her daughter,
Yeah.
saying that, I can't wait to one can't wait to meet her daughter and tell her I know your father. He was one hell of a woman, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That shit was hella funny. And the one
That
where
shit
the
was.
story he told about when he got in a fight with one of the girls in the club.
Oh
That
yeah,
shit was hilarious. Man,
yeah.
if you guys haven't seen it, Best of Bias listeners, go check that out. It's on Netflix now, still trending top 10. Um, shall we move on to another topic? We got plenty here to
Okay.
get to.
Okay.
Next topic, some of that DC fandom stuff. It was Saturday. I think it was Saturday morning. I think they're around the morning time because they had a lot of stuff to get out to everybody. Starting with Black Adam, we got to see a little bit of the cast and The Rock talking about the character and some cool little animated scenes about what Black Adam's all about and where he came from. How'd you feel about that?
It was cool. It had a little short trailer where he was like killing motherfuckers. That was pretty dope. It never really showed his face, but I mean, it's the fucking Rock, so you know what his face looks like. But
Hmm.
the trailer showed his outfit and how it pretty much looks real similar to the Shazam outfit, just a darker version of it. And he's gonna be like I guess they were saying he's gonna be like a villain type character, a Venom, not villain, Venom type character, where he's like an anti-hero, where like what he's trying to do is right, but he just goes about it in a completely different way than like everybody we know from the DC universe, where he's willing to kill people. And yeah, like in the trailer they have, he chokes that dude out, and dude disintegrates in his hands. So yeah,
Gonna be a
definitely
badass.
shows it. Yeah, he's not afraid to take people's lives with no issue.
Yeah.
So, and he looks like he's gonna be super dominant. And I'm assuming that he's gonna be way stronger than Shazam, anyways, because
Hmm.
Shazam divided his powers up between his friends, and Black Adam ain't sharing shit. So,
So is he a bad guy, anti-hero?
in the comics, he's a bad guy. I'm assuming in this one he's an anti-hero because I mean, but there is like moments I believe in the comics. I'm not really huge on DC, but I think
Hmm.
there's moments where he fights with the Justice League, depending on what the cause is. But typically, his methods are just different than theirs.
I feel that. So yeah, of course
Yeah.
we said Dwayne The Rock Johnson is Black Adam. Dr. Fate is also in the movie, played by Pierce Brosnan, our own old James Bond.
Oh yeah.
I think we have fuck, what did he play in? Uh, his name is Carter Hall, but he's playing a Hawk. Was it Hawkman? Is Hawkman in it?
Hawkman is in
Hawkman?
there. Is that Carter Hall, the guy from NWA, black dude? Is
Yeah,
that his name?
exactly. Yep,
Okay.
yep, 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 yep. He's
He also
playing
played in that movie recently with was it is it a night in Miami or whatever it was, the one with
Martin Luther
supposed to
King,
oh
Muhammad
yeah,
Ali.
and it was no Malcolm X. I don't know if it was Martin Luther King.
It
Malcolm X,
was
Muhammad
Martin. Yeah, yeah,
Ali, and Sam Cooke
yeah. Hmm.
and Jim Brown, I think it was. Yeah.
Hmm. He was Jim Brown.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm. Yep. So the other guys that have in it, the other heroes we were talking about a little bit ago, Atom Smasher, they have Cyclone, um,
Dr. Fate and who else?
Hawkman,
Hawkman. Yeah. Okay.
and
Okay.
then Black Adam. So about five heroes they're gonna introduce in this movie. It's coming out July 29th, though, 2022.
God
Sheesh,
damn.
it's a while away.
It
So to give
is.
you the preview now. Exciting stuff. I've been hearing about this movie for a while. Seeing The Rock actually play a bad guy again is going to be interesting. When's the last time he played a bad guy? Was it fucking Scorpion King?
Yeah, it was not a very good movie. That was probably the worst mummy they had. Now, Scorpion King, he wasn't a bad guy in the movie,
Well,
Scorpion
yeah,
King,
Mummy 2,
but
he was the bad guy in Bad Scorpion.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that was a horrible movie. I think that was the one that just kind of ended that whole mummy franchise. The
Let
rest
me
of them were good though. The rest of them were good. I don't think has he ever played another bad guy. I mean, he was kind of like against the Fast and Furious crew when he first came in. He wasn't a bad guy, but he was like annoying, I guess.
he was kind of a bad guy,
But
I
as we
would
know, with the
say.
Fast and Furious crew, everybody who's bad becomes good.
Good, yeah. It was weird. They even made Letty bad for a little bit, and she came back. It was a
Yeah,
good, yeah. Let me see. So also in this DC drop here, DC fandom on Saturday, we saw the Peacemaker trailer. Did you watch that?
I did not see the Peacemaker trailer. Now,
The Peacemaker trailer is pretty funny. It comes out also in 2022. I'm not really sure why they're putting out these trailers now. They come out so late.
so
I
what
guess
is it?
2022 is January, so I guess it's around the corner.
Did he not die in the movie or something? Because
Oh, Suicide Squad?
yeah.
Oh yeah, at the end of the Suicide Squad, he was in the hospital and they were like outside the room saying they're gonna use him for shit.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I
And
forgot
then
about that.
so they revive him. And in this shit, he has like a sidekick named Vigilante who looks pretty funny. And he's out there just fucking being a motherfucking funny ass superhero, killing people and shit. He's shooting a gun between his legs, making peace symbols and shit. Funny ass motherfucking what's his name
John
again?
Cena.
John Cena shit. I was gonna call him Kurt Angle for some reason.
So
But
funny.
yeah, it shit looks hella funny. January 13th, 2022. When you get a chance, watch that shit. Also, a new trailer of Batman came out.
Yeah.
Are you excited for this Batman? I don't know if we talked about it or not.
I'm not really a huge Batman fan, but I did like the Dark Knights. And of course, I like the original Batmans because I was a kid and that shit was just dope as fuck. But I don't know, like I've watched this trailer a couple of times and I'm just like, I don't even remember what happens in the trailer. It doesn't seem very interesting to me. I don't know why. It doesn't even feel like Batman. I don't know, but not one that really piques my interest. I don't
I
know.
feel that. I feel that. I want to see what it is just for the fact that each Batman gets judged by how they do in the movie, man. So I think there's a running contest, and we still got to
Yeah.
see who's the best Batman. There's been a couple of good ones out there. Who's your favorite Batman so far?
Um, Michael Keaton.
Oh, that's a good one. I was gonna say Michael Keaton too. I still, even though people hate this movie, I fuck with the George Clooney Batman too, just because
Shit.
just because I watched that movie a lot as a kid, Batman Forever and Batman
Yeah.
and Robin with Chris
Yeah.
O'Donnell. I watched those a million times as a kid.
That girl was like, what was it, Alicia Silverstone or some shit?
Yeah, the girl from Clueless.
Yeah, that shit was so
Movie
funny.
is wild, but I'm excited to see it. I don't know if this guy from Twilight's gonna do as well as these super actors that have played him in the past, but
Yeah, he just doesn't look like a Bruce Wayne to me at all. I don't know, but it is what it is.
yeah.
The Batman helmet looks, I don't know, like that. It looks stupid to me. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I didn't when they were talking about bringing a dude to play Joker in the what's his name again? The one that passed away. What was that guy's name? The one that played Joker, who actually did hella good.
Oh, Heath Ledger.
Yeah, when they were showing him as being the Joker, before they ever showed any previews of the Joker, I was like, oh, this is fucking stupid. This is gonna be horrible. But when they showed the previews, I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like he might be onto something here. And of course, when the movie came out, he's my favorite Joker by far. It's hard to compare to him. But Joaquin Phoenix did a good take on Joker that I liked. You know,
Yeah,
I like the fact that he completely just said, I'm not gonna do it that way. I'm gonna do it this way. And
yeah,
yeah, I think that's what you had to do. You couldn't do and try and mimic him, which was pretty much like more deranged version of Jack Nicholson's Joker. So
yeah. I like Jack Nicholson's Joker is scary, kind of.
he was that fucking smile was totally weird,
Yeah,
but Did you see the previews for the Flash?
Yeah, so I'm gonna bring that up next. That's kind of
Oh,
cool. You
okay.
just went into that. So November 4th, 2022, Flash is coming out. I was looking at the cast here, so I keep looking down, guys. I'm looking at these dates and these movies. Michael Keaton's actually gonna be in the Flash
So
as the old Batman. Ben
yeah, so
Affleck is gonna be in there.
I think what they're doing with this Flash movie is they're trying to do the multiverse type of thing.
Right.
And I think what they're gonna do is they're going to make everything DC that we've seen in the past all connected, regardless
Mm-hmm.
of what it's from, anything movie wise or TV wise. Because I don't really watch the Flash anymore, the TV show. I used to watch it, but I did see like the
Yeah,
trailer.
I watched that show.
Like I heard it just got kind of like out there, but
Mm-hmm.
I seen a trailer where it showed the Flash from the show meeting the movie Flash, and I guess that was really in the show,
Oh shit.
showing that the worlds are connected even there.
Mm-hmm.
So like everything that you've seen DC wise, even Dark Knight and all that bullshit, everything is all connected because of this Flash movie.
Damn, I feel that.
Yeah, which
I
is
feel
why
that.
Michael Keaton's in it, because they're gonna go and meet up with that version of Batman. So
Hmm.
we'll see what they do. I'm that once again, I'm not like a huge. When it comes to DC, I'm a DC cartoon fan. DC cartoons always winning. But you still here?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you froze again, because
I'm just looking down.
whenever you freeze to me, that means I freeze on your end. But yeah, no, like the movies to me, they've been hit or miss. But I did like the Dark Knight movies; those were good. So it'd be interesting to see if they what they do with that. And to be honest, out of all of them, I would probably rather see like some Dark Knight cameos, like, well,
Mm-hmm.
not from like Catwoman from Dark Knight or anything, but maybe like actual Christian Bale, something like that.
Christian Bale was a
But
dope Batman too.
he was, yeah. I mean, not his voice was annoying as fuck, but I mean, I still like him as a character. He's a great character, so yeah, definitely. I liked his personality as Bruce Wayne was,
Excuse me.
added to that darkness. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it's something to look forward to. I don't know about Flash, because I mean, the story of Flash is not that interesting, but with them adding that whole Michael Keaton aspect to it makes it a little bit more exciting.
Right. Right. And then we got another Aquaman movie, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, December 16th, 2022. How do you feel about that?
I didn't even see that. That's dope. Okay. Yeah, I like the first one was good, and it's funny because like all these different movies that come out, they don't seem like they all fit together. Like they don't seem like they're supposed to be like connected. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, makes a lot of
Th-
sense.
Yeah, it just doesn't have that feel to me. And but I'm hoping that they don't do a Wonder Woman situation where they have a great first movie and then just some shit for a second movie, because I don't know who fucking made that Wonder Woman movie that came out the 1980 or
1984.
oh my god, that shit, it sounds like somebody was just like bullshitting. I don't understand what they were doing.
That was kind of whack. And it was at the hype of that all those movies dropping on the streaming services straight to streaming, and everybody was hyped for that shit. A lot of people probably subscribed to HBO for that movie, and they were hella
Yeah.
disappointed. Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
I
it.
don't know whoever wrote that, but I think it was the same people who like sat down and discussed Gremlins 2. Is that whichever one it was, the one with Hulk Hogan?
Damn, you said the Gremlins too. That's fucked up.
Like they had the same fucking people sitting there coming up with ideas for that movie, because that shit was like the acting aspect of it. Maybe that, I mean, they just shouldn't. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. I can't really think of it, but it was just like
It was shitty.
it was shitty. It was really
Find a
shitty.
Rock. Rock changes girl, and girl's a bad guy now. The nerdy scientist. Yeah, the guy
Yeah.
wasn't the guy. She was kind of raping the guy that thought he was a different guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah. That's what she was doing.
it was a lot of shit going on that didn't really make sense and that we didn't expect. I do agree with you there. But yeah, a lot of this shit's coming out late next year, so strap in for that if you guys are DC followers. Next, we got a really controversial topic out there. I don't know if you've been following the Kyrie Irving saga. Kyrie Irving now plays for the Brooklyn Nets, NBA player, point guard, for those who didn't know out there. we're gonna get a little political right now. If you guys, hope you guys are ready. So, this man, Kyrie, kind of is a forward thinker. He once came out and said he thinks the world is flat. He was going against everybody's opinion, kind of trying to prove that the theory is correct. Like I said, he is just kind of out there, kind of trying to show that he's a little bit more smart than everybody else, and everybody else what they're thinking. He's gonna try to do the opposite and show that he's his own man. I'm not saying that in this situation that applies, but I feel like the people are pushing his buttons. The Brooklyn Nets, New York itself is forcing its residents to get the vaccination to be able to partake in kind of the public stuff, restaurants, arenas, movie theaters, and stuff like that. Have proof of the vaccination to get into these places. Excuse me. For his basketball team, NBA players, a lot of the teams are getting 100% vaccinated, and especially the players in the states that require it, a lot of the players are getting it. But Kyrie Irving, he's feeling that he's not ready to get the vaccination. It's a decision he's making for him and his family. He hasn't done enough research to get it. But New York is mandating that in order for him to play basketball in the Brooklyn arena, he has to get the vaccine. So technically, he would not be able to play any of his home games. And he would only be able to play away games at places that allowed him to have just negative tests. So, and they're still paying him his guaranteed pretty much $90+ million to be on the team. And he pretty much didn't have to be there because he didn't want to get the shot. And a lot of people were getting in his business because they're the favorite to meet the Lakers in the finals. And Brooklyn hasn't had a championship in a long time. And his team is kind of waiting for him to come to practice. Everybody else is vaccinated, ready to go. And he's one of their best players. And they're like, oh, why are you not here? It's becoming a big distraction. It came to a point where they're like, okay, now you're not going to play for our team, come to practice, do anything with us until you get vaccinated and coordinate with team activities and how everybody else is doing it. So basically, he doesn't have a job anymore. How do you feel about this?
He's still getting paid though, right?
He's still getting paid.
So I mean, shit, fuck it. That's like that unemployment shit everybody was doing. So
yeah, he's threatening retirement if they try to force him to get the vaccine. His teammates are kind of cutting off communication, not really talking to him because today is actually the season opener. The Brooklyn Nets actually just lost to the Bucks.
I mean, I'm still confused with the whole vaccine thing because I mean, somebody just told me that it's not really a vaccine; it's just like a I don't know, a booster shot or some shit. But it's like if everybody's vaccinated on his team, why does it matter if he is? Because he can't get anybody else infected if they're vaccinated, right?
Well, it's not only for the team. I feel like it's for like employees and the people that are coming to the arena to watch.
Make the motherfuckers get vaccinated then.
I feel it. I'm just saying they don't want any kind of spread getting out any kind of because the people probably you can't come in to the game probably now unless you have proof of the vaccination. So
yeah. So why does it matter if he's vaccinated then? If they're all vaccinated and you got proof they are, then there's no way he can get them infected.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no clue.
I don't know.
I guess he would be the only one at risk, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to research that shit lately too, because I mean, I'm like, depending on what I do, if I go to Indiana, which I probably will eventually, I'm gonna have to get vaccinated before I go there. But when I go online and look for like shit on it, it's like you don't get to see like both sides. All it is like people saying that the whole how the vaccination is not bad for you, and it's like. I mean, I don't know if I can really trust those because you hear so much other shit. But then when you go, I guess I got to go on different search engine. I can't use Google because Google kind of filters out all the negative stuff.
Probably.
But it's like, how do I know that, that shit that I'm hearing isn't just like somebody saying, oh, yeah, do it. Because they're trying to encourage you to get it. So they're trying to filter out anything negative about the vaccine. But it's like, I want to get more research on like how long it was tested, how it was tested and whatnot, and what it actually does, because I mean, me personally, I don't give a fuck about my mortality or whatnot, but I mean, it's still, if I'm like letting some motherfuckers put a fucking foreign object in my body, I want to know what it is before I do.
Yeah, I feel that for sure.
But I'm not like an anti-vaxxer at all. Like I'm not one of the people who like, I don't get it, this and that. I'm just like, hey, do your research first. So
right, exactly. And I understand. I guess I'm understanding. Just now had the epiphany of how people could take how long to research the vaccine because a lot of the information could be filtered out to where you can't find it, and it'll take them fucking hella long and days to research it.
Oh, it is.
because all
I've
the
been
negative
actually
stuff is
trying.
probably hidden from people. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't really think about it that way.
it's really hard. I've been trying to do it because I mean, this job I have, which is I'm not gonna let this fucking job force me to get no fucking vaccine. They don't pay me enough. But and I've noticed that like lately with that whole 100 employees or more or whatever got to get vaccinated thing. Any job I get is gonna probably require me to be vaccinated unless I'm at like a job where I work at home.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those situations where I'm like, all right, it seems like it's coming to that point to where I'm probably gonna have to either go ahead and get it or whatever. Because lately, I mean, I don't do shit. I don't go out and especially out here in San Diego, I don't know nobody. So there's like a damn near 0% chance of me actually contracting it because everywhere I go, I always fucking wear a mask and always put that fucking hand sanitizer on my hands. My shit's cracking up like a motherfucker because of that.
Mojave
Um,
Desert Hands.
yeah,
Trying
on
my shit out.
everything
Yeah.
for sure. But it's like eventually I do. I think I do want to go to Indiana. I got to figure out the whole ins and outs of that or whatnot. But uh, I can't be out there with like my aunt and them. And I'm definitely gonna hang out with my aunt out there because that's my favorite aunt. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to get vaccinated for that.
I
You
feel
know.
it. I feel it. Yeah, it's just interesting, man. It's just it's also I forgot to add to the story that stories have to be told during the week before the lead up to basketball and lead up to football games. So we have these channels, Fox Sports, ESPN, all these other sports shows, and their main anchors are kind of going at Kyrie for not
Mm,
getting the vaccine, calling him selfish, kind of calling him unintelligent, telling him that the research he's doing and how come he hasn't had the research yet? The vaccine's been out for long enough. He should have the research by now. Just kind of bringing his character into question, which caused him to go on IG and actually kind of explain himself. Because until that moment, he hasn't really said anything about it. He just basically kind of avoided the media and avoided the question, and he's been doing his own thing. That's kind of also been the problem with Kyrie. He's been taking takes personal reason stints away from the team. He just calls the team like I'm not going to be there. Doesn't show up for a certain amount of time for personal reasons, and he can't really be trusted at this point. So the team is like, okay, if you're going to try to pull not try to pull this because his beliefs actually do matter, but it's like if at this
mm,
point you're going to bring all this negative attention to the team, and you just want to kind of just it is kind of selfish in a way because he is part of a team. He does get paid millions of dollars for this team. If basketball is going to start and you need to get this to get basketball, if you're going to be on the basketball team, I feel like you should have to get this vaccinated. Especially if regular ass job, people are getting fired for fucking not getting vaccinated. And this man makes millions of dollars to shoot a basketball, and he won't get fucking vaccinated. It's like, bruh, come on.
that's true. But at the same time, if they sit there and they give him this whole guilt trip and tell him that he's being selfish or whatnot, and then he goes and does it, and then one of those negative things actually happens to him, like he has a fucking blood clot and fucking drops dead or some shit, ain't nobody gonna be sitting there saying, all right, we're gonna take care of his family for the rest of his life. It's gonna be like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, and at this point, you pushed him to the edge where he said, like, all right, I'm just going to be Kyrie now and just fucking push back against everything you say just because you put my character into question. I'm just going to push back and fight. And, man, I would be kind of weary, too, to get the vaccine at this point if he's pushing against it that hard. That might give you a bad dose with some
on
bullshit in
purpose.
it. Yeah, fuck
The
that.
Kyrie dose right here. Go ahead and
Right,
take this,
yeah.
nigga.
Yeah, exactly. Talking all that shit.
Nigga gonna grow an extra eyeball and nipple or some shit. No.
Right. Next, you get tested. We found something in your blood from HGH that you were
Yeah.
using, and you're suspended anyways. Yeah. I just feel like Kyrie was like one of my favorite players until he kind of started up with this. I mean, people can have their own personal opinions, but it's like, fuck, man. It's like detrimental. He like goes to every team he goes to, he kind of like does something like to ruin the team. It's kind of like the TO effect he has.
Oh yeah.
But this year he's on a good team that could possibly win the championship, and then this happens. So it's like a never-ending story. Either he's hurt or he does something in the media, that kind of fucks everything up. But hopefully, bless the team. Hopefully, he makes a good decision, whatever it is for him and his family. If he's threatening retirement, if he is forced to get the shot, if he retires, he's had a great career. He won a championship with LeBron. He's definitely going to be one of the most talked about NBA players. He has one of the best handles in the game and shit like that. But it would be nice to see somebody dethrone the Lakers and, win a championship, because I know this year they're probably going to be favored to win the whole thing. And if he can stay with Kevin Durant and James Harden and pull that thing through, win a championship, that would be cool. And by the Nuggets a year to get good, and then we can win. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, moving on to the next story here. I want to talk a little bit of music. I know you were just talking about the Dame Lillard album and some of the songs you heard from him. You're surprised at how good of a rapper he was coming out of Oakland, California, one time represent.
I, I've only heard one song to be honest, and that
That was the
was
only
the
song you
one
heard
with
ever?
him, Lil Wayne. Of his, yeah. I didn't know he even rapped. When I saw it, I was like, damn, Lil raps, all right. I mean, I guess I'm not in touch with that shit, but yeah, he did pretty good. The whole song was pretty good. It was called I think it's called "I'm the One" or something like that. You put the right one or something like that. But
Did he
yeah, the
cuss in
song was
that
pretty
one? I
good.
think he raps, he don't cuss.
I don't remember if he cussed, but I know that everybody was gassing on it.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, Wayne was gassing. He was doing his little tunchy weird shit, but it was still he was going. Mozzie was spitting. It was yeah, it actually was. Everybody had their shit, and I like the hook. I like the way he delivered it. The beat was cool. They had like a little Matrix type video, so it was clean.
That's what's up. Yeah. I just want to talk a little bit about hip hop, because this year a lot of the bigger hip hop acts dropped album this year. Drake, Kanye West, Young Thug is becoming a really big artist now. He's just starting to cross over into that level of artist where they're not only talked about in the hip hop atmosphere. He's starting to cross over into other genres, work with other artists, and people are getting to know him on a global basis. Um, I just wanted to see what you thought about the definition of pop music and going pop. What do you think the definition are? They've become really convoluted, and they've been
It's
become almost the
all
same thing.
it's always been convoluted. Pop is whatever's popular. That's all it is. So
Hmm.
I mean, people always like state pop as something bad, like oh they're going gimmicky or commercial, which is true, but that's what everybody wants to get to anyway. That's when you make the most money.
Right.
So I mean, pop is not really like a genre of music. It's just anything that becomes popular, whether it's fucking country, rap, fucking rock, whatever. But I mean, to be honest, I've never even actually heard a Young Thug song other than when he was with the Birdman back in the day. That I forgot him and
The
I forgot the
lifestyle
fucking
song.
song. Yeah, that's There You Go Lifestyle. I heard him on a couple of Nipsey Hussle songs, um, and like his hooks and stuff was decent, but I don't know. I really couldn't get into his verses, but I don't know. Maybe I got to give him a little bit more of a chance. But I don't know. It's like certain rappers that everybody really fucks with that I try to listen to and I don't get it. Like Future, I never really got, still don't.
Yeah, I feel you.
Uh, yeah, but
I feel like it's
I
sometimes so
mean,
these guys are more of a sound, and they're really like cool people that help put a
mhm,
lot of other artists on, and kind
that's
of
what's up. I
influence a
like
lot of
that.
people. I heard a lot of people talk about Young Thug in the background of him being like a super cool dude, been real since like he was like 13. You know what I mean? And everybody has a story about him. You know what I mean? Even, the most seasoned rappers, like people from Atlanta. I heard he was on the Breakfast Club actually recently with Charlamagne and shit. And he was
I,
telling a little bit about his story.
I seen when he was on that podcast with what's his damn name again? Gilly the Kid and
Uh-huh.
his cousin.
Hmm.
He seemed like he was pretty intelligent. I liked the way like, he was talking. He didn't seem like a typical like rapper who's just about fashion and jewelry. I mean, he talked about that shit a little bit too, but he actually had like you know, a little bit more to say than I expected.
Right. Yeah, exactly. He's not, and I feel like his mind is in different places. He put other rappers on, like I said, he does fashion. The rappers that are come up under his wing are kind of some of the hottest rappers in the game now too, as well. And it's just cool to me to hear that, some of the stuff he does behind the scenes before rap was what made these other artists and people in the industry like him before he actually started doing music. He said he used to pay the baby because Lil Baby. He put Lil Baby on after he got out of jail. He used to pay Lil Baby to be in the studio and not be in the streets. He said about like $400 to $1,000 just to stay in the studio, write verses, and not be out there doing some wild shit because he just got out of jail and shit. And then he became one of the biggest rappers of right now.
Yeah, that's
Um,
what's up.
but then Gucci Man is the one that kind of found him. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of these stalwart kind of guys in the game that are creating these mega stars, which is pretty epic. He said that after he had Lil Baby in the studio, he decided to put him with P, the one of the owners of the QC label, Migos and them. So once he got with them, his career just took off from there because they're one of the biggest labels that had City Girls, Migos, and all of them on that label.
I think that's why Atlanta has been doing it so big for so long, is because unlike other places where people were just about getting their own, Atlanta seems to be like all about just furthering the whole culture of hip hop in their area, and they help out the people who are on the under. And some of them don't even take credit for it. A lot of times they'll just do it, and you won't hear about it until somebody else says it.
Right.
And I've noticed that other places that doesn't really happen that much. Only other place where you do see that happen is like Chicago, but I mean they be getting killed off left and right, but they be doing that with their members, and that's why they're so relevant now, because you have rappers come out of there who they just come out of nowhere, and that's simply because they're under somebody else in a gang who brought them out. But I noticed that Atlanta does that a lot. A lot of their artists, that you find out that they were like somebody else's homeboy or whatever, who just you'll see them in the background of little interviews they have. That person was just in the background, and all of a sudden now that person is the face of music and whatnot,
right?
Whatever.
And he's also talked about his. Oh, go ahead.
I'm about to say you don't really get that too much in other places. Like you'll see people do it with like one of their homeboys, but they don't do it with a lot of people.
Right.
So
right. There's some people you don't really see it at all. I was waiting to see who Tory Lanez is actually going to bring out of his camp, because he's been on for a while. It's just like Young Thug. He just connects with everybody. He's on. If you notice, he's on everybody's album. He's on Young Thug's. He's on Kanye's album. He was on Drake's album. He's always on. He was on Meek Mill's new album. Yeah. He's like, he does everybody a favor, and he's like become one of the biggest stars out there. He even talked about when him and Lil Wayne had beef, and the whole tour bus situation when Lil Wayne's tour bus got shot up and stuff. They said that Birdman brought them together. They squashed the beef in like 15 seconds, and they have like hella songs together. They're about to do an album together. So it's like media does kind of blow stuff up to a proportion where it's like you thought these niggas was about to kill each other.
Yeah, and it's funny because every time you talk, you heard about that. Whenever you seen an interview with Young Thug, like he was always big up in Lil Wayne. Even when that shit was going on, he always seemed like he was just a fan. So
I think it was more of like even Young Thug saying this. He was beefing with Birdman at the time, and Birdman was bringing Young Thug up as his next up and coming artist, the biggest artist at the time. So he kind of just added, salt to that wound, and Lil Wayne started going at Young Thug. Kind of got big and blown out of proportion. For Lil Wayne at this point, he's just doing music with everybody. Probably got songs with everybody at this point.
Yeah, man, that's how he got big in the first place, though.
Yeah, Twin hella features. Yep, and he also fucking for publicity for his fucking album. Like, he was on Instagram. This part may make you upset. He was destroying a fucking Rolls Royce. Forgot what kind. It wasn't a Cullinan, but it was some kind of Rolls Royce. They were just beating it with a bat, denting it up, breaking the windshield, breaking the cover, spray painting on it for his like album release. And this fool was like, huh? Well, because it was a $400,000 car, and they're beating it up for no reason.
I say like a lot of times motherfuckers waste money on a lot of shit, which is stupid. But I mean, who knows what like stuff he does behind the scenes? You don't know who he's like, what charities he's donating to, and at the end of the day, that's his money. Like if you see a motherfucker who be on a video who will buy some Yeezys or some shit and then fuck them up just for the video, you bought that. Yeah, that's your money you wasting. Just like when you back in the day when they used to take like NWA's albums and burn them in the street and shit like that. It's like, yeah, but you got to pay for those albums before you do that to them. So either way, the money going to somebody. You spending your own money. So I mean, yeah, sometimes that's just ignorant to just throw money away like that when you have people out there starving and shit. But when you have as much money as Lil Wayne does, you don't know how much money he's actually giving away and donating. I don't know how much money. I don't know how much money he has either. I don't know how much money he's been giving out, for like philanthropy or whatever. So
he's like, he was like, he's gonna hide the keys somewhere in LA, and whoever finds the keys can have the car. But it costs it's probably gonna cost like $100,000 to repair.
Nah, just sell that shit for parts. You make a shit ton of that.
They left it in front of the club.
Huh?
So he said he left it in front of the club, so whoever finds the keys can go get it from in front of the club. But he beat it with a bat, like the whole windshield, fucking dented the sides, fucking was doing hella shit and recording it. Shit was wild.
I bet
Yeah,
you. I bet you the seats is still nice. I bet
yeah,
you the fucking engine still run.
yeah.
Sell all that shit for parts. You'll make it just go on eBay or wherever that shit is and sell it online.
That's
You
what he
got money off
said.
of that. You can make a shit ton.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said you can. It's still fucking. It's still a whole car. It ain't nothing but broken windows and some dents. It's still a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it
So
was
what end up
interesting.
happening is some fucking tow truck company will come swoop that shit up and you know, it's gonna
Fix
be
it up and
that.
sell it. Scrap it and sell it.
Yeah.
I would. If I'm a tow yard, if you're just gonna make some with tow yards, you think they do that? Tow cars that are sitting there for long and just can fucking salvage them or sell them for parts for the
If
business?
if if they know that he's saying that he don't want the car no more, he don't give a fuck, go get it, then if they know that, then yeah, they can go do it. It's an open game. Like what they gonna do, he ain't gonna sue him. They know that nobody's gonna try and come and get him for the money. So take that shit and get on.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, let's brought that up to see how you felt about the state of hip hop right now and the crossover that a lot of these artists are doing. Drake is being talked about all over the place. This fool has music for NFL and NBA commercials on every commercial. You got fucking Young Thug performing on Saturday Night Live and opening up with those motherfuckers was interesting as fuck. It's just a lot of crossovers going on. Also, and touring is back.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm
That's
saying? We
good.
need
As long as motherfuckers ain't reigniting that COVID shit, it's cool.
Yeah, this fool, Lil Durk and Lil Baby are on tour right now. 250,000 tickets sold, netted $15 million. So I guess it's back in
That's
full
what's up.
effect, and tour money's back in. You got to take the podcast on the road one of these days. Go to some local venues and talk some shit with the people. Best of bias listeners, how
That's
y'all
what's
feel
up.
about that? You know what I'm saying? Get some
So
tour
yeah.
dates. Get a Sprinter van out here and just go some places and chop it up with folks.
But as
Um,
long as far as the state of hip hop though, that's just dope. I like the fact that this is something that black people created and it wasn't stolen from them. You know,
mhm,
like rock and roll was. If you look at the history of rock and roll was originally a black thing. It was completely stolen, and then not only that, but it was suppressed by like white radio. So what they did was they suppressed the black rock and roll that everybody loved, and then the white rock and roll that started to mimic it, they played that more, which then
mhm,
over time made rock and roll become a white music.
mhm.
And I mean, even like fucking Elvis Presley, they called the King of Rock. I mean, he was stealing some of his songs from black people. Like the Hound Dog song was a
Right.
black lady made that song,
Hmm.
and it's like with hip hop. I mean, maybe it was a time, I don't know what it was, but that shit it didn't happen. I mean, we got people like Eminem who come out who, are like considered the best rapper, but in his case, he actually is lyrically a fucking incredible
Yeah,
rapper.
he's great.
But you
Yeah.
also have like the Iggy, you got the Iggy Azaleas and the, I forgot the other dude's name from Seattle, but
Macklemore.
there's other like rappers. Yeah, Macklemore will come out and get all these praises from like these big venue, not big venue, these big award shows and stuff. But they don't. I'm not like to be honest. They don't really deserve it a lot of times. M in his own right. M deserves. M's a fucking computer when it comes to rap and lyrics. But it still wasn't allowed to just shut everybody else out and become like this thing that was created by us and now is identified as theirs. So
Right.
we were able to keep a hold of it and grow with it. And now we got people who look like us, in the limelight and they're known worldwide.
Right.
So that's pretty
Es-
dope.
Especially in different genres of music. We got some black country platinum selling country stars. We got some pop stars. Doja Cat's
Hmm.
doing her thing right now in the pop sphere. But I will say they do give the awards to the wrong people at these hip hop in the hip hop categories and shit like that. They do well on the charts wise hip hop,
Yeah.
but then they fucking throw it in hip hop's faces by giving the award to some bullshit. I'm not saying like
But
Megan the Stallion
a lot of
winning.
times, a lot of
What?
I don't know any songs about Megan Thee Stallion either. I said I don't know any songs about Megan Thee Stallion either.
No, yeah, but
I
she's
don't.
won
That's
winning the Hip
crazy.
Hop of the Year award, Artist of the Year awards for the last 2 years, Song of the Year awards in hip hop. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like I don't know if you're really listening to hip hop if you think those songs are the best songs in hip hop of the year, albums of the year. I get it; it's a good
Well, you
song.
got yeah. I think the people who are voting a lot of times don't really listen to rap or hip hop at all, and they'll just be like going through a list and be like, "Oh, I know that name. Yeah, let's put her on that list," you know.
Right.
And that's why a lot of times you think you get like some white rap artist, or you'll get just this person that has their name out there, but you know the music isn't really as good as other music, but just simply because their name is out there. It's just a list of people who are going down who aren't truly hip hop like connoisseurs, and they're just going off whatever they've heard in the tabloids and stuff that are positive. For example, they're probably like, "Oh yeah, I've heard about Megan Thee Stallion. Didn't she get shot in the foot by that dude? Oh
Right.
yeah, woman
Yeah.
power."
Exactly. It
So
takes a ploy. I feel like for you to pop, it takes a ploy. You being somewhere you quote unquote don't belong, because I feel like Old Town Road only popped because it was a fucking hip hop country song.
hmm
And since it broke that barrier, it became a popular ass song. You know what I mean? It has to, I don't know, it has to fit some type of a box
hmm
in order to pop. You have to be an Eminem, a
a,
white
a,
rapper to
a
get
gimmick.
popular.
Gotta be a
Exactly.
gimmick, yeah.
A
Okay.
white Australian female rapper. Of course, everybody's going to be interested in you online. So every record label is going to look to sign you and push you because you will have that following and that interest already, just
Yeah.
because you're so different in the field that you're in. Hip hop is us, us, us all the time. So now, just to find the next us that's they're going to try to fund and push, we got to have the face tats. So we got to do the most drugs. And it's not about the talent, and that's been washed out for a while. But I feel like that's finally coming back. And this year was a good year for the artists that do it for the artistry, they do it for the lyrics, they do it for the instrumentation like Kanye does. I'm happy we're able to get that back, and we're starting to see a growing level of rap as far as everybody's not mumbling, and mumbling is not the only type of rap that we got now. We got our lyrical back, we got our semi-lyrical and rhythmic, we got our just mumble over here. We have people that listen to some weird ass shit. I still do not understand what the hell people see in Playboy Cardi. No hate, but I don't know what the fuck be going on. I just
Never.
don't really understand.
I don't think I've ever heard a song of his either.
If you have time, listen to I think it's like Nothing But Red or something, Red album by Playboy Cardi, and try to listen to the songs. And it's like, it's just a bunch of crazy noises and repetition of the same lines over and over. And I think he thinks he's some kind of like black vampire. No, real life, real life, real life. If you look at the videos and stuff from this,
Oh
no
shit.
shade, but it is an interesting thing that he's going for. He does have his fan base, and I respect the shit out of that. But it's like, fuck, I really be trying to understand, but it's just wild. It's wild. And he be having like 20 to 30 songs on his albums and shit.
That
And
shit's
kids
crazy.
love it. It's the craziest shit ever.
I do like the fact that a lot of new artists that are coming out are like that are more on the positive tip. You get a lot of rappers who are like not promoting, us killing each other and whatnot.
Right.
And it's like I think what happened was that era of like just goofy ass mumble like nonsense that came out for like the past couple years has developed this, I guess, group of people who are more conscious when they rap, and some of them are getting noticed. They're not big yet, but I feel like they keep on doing what they're doing and promote it the way they're doing it. Eventually, they're gonna get up there on the top. And
Right.
I think that's because when like you listen to all that dumb shit, and then you got like the Kendricks and the J. Cole's and shit like that who actually make like good music that you actually like, you're gonna want to mimic them because you're like, I don't want to be like this dumbass. I mean, he makes music that everybody play at the club, but it sounds ignorant. So let me
Right.
try and mimic the ones, so you'll have people who are gonna mimic the Drakes and stuff like that because those guys stick out and stand out amongst a bunch of like mumble or gibberish for the most
Yeah,
part.
I do respect those guys like Tyler the Creator though, that create their own lane, can do their own shit. He had created his own business, and he raps, he spits, he's
Oh
has his
yeah,
own TV shows. Like
you
he does a lot.
you're gonna definitely get some of those too because like those are artists that stand out because they stand out gimmickly wise with a bunch of goofy shit, but then they
Mhm.
also got bars,
Yeah,
and yeah, Tyler the Creator's. I mean, other than that weird sus shit, he's multi talented. Definitely, he makes
yeah.
beats, all that shit. So
He gets into character for each album. He puts on a character and portrays that shit at every concert, every venue. His rollout game is perfect. His businesses are epic as fuck. And just the way he grabbed his audience from early on and just curated it into something super big. And he just won the first, I think, culture award at the BET Award. And
Yeah, I think he's also that way because he's also liked so much because he's not he doesn't like one of them guys that has to like put on a certain face in front of people. He actually every time you see him on anything, he's just him. I feel like the way he acts in front on the stage in front of fans or on camera is how he acts if he's just sitting in a room with you playing video games.
mm,
Like it's not a different. Like you'll see like other artists get up there and they're real quiet and they just trying to be cool and stoic and whatnot. And I'm sure that when they're around their boys, they're totally different. But him, it's like I think that because of his personality on stage and in front of camera, it makes people, his fans, feel like they're friends more than just fans because
mm-hmm.
they feel like they really know the real him.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep, I feel that. Yeah, and she has so many fans. It's crazy. I went to his actual festival. He has his own festival, and he had big ass artists there too. Erykah Badu, Lil Wayne, all kind of openers. He has Schoolboy Q at one. He has hella food trucks there, lined up food trucks over there at the USC Stadium. It was pretty epic. Camp Flognaw. It was
that's
it
what's
was
up.
He had a Action Bronson there. His food truck. Yeah, he was the one after he performed. He was like, "Everybody go to my food truck. Yeah, free items at the food truck and shit like that." They had epic shit. They had hella games and shit like that. So it was a dope ass venue, dope ass thing. Yeah, but hip hop is in a great place, and I'm happy to see it making a comeback and actually just being there at the top of everything. It's just like the top genre out right now in the United States. So maybe even in the world, who knows? Moving quite along, let's talk about some couple of random topics here before we had to get up out here. Demi Lovato, she says aliens don't like to be called aliens. They find it offensive. Um,
That's fucking hilarious.
how do you feel about this? Very,
I
very
mean,
interesting.
from the outside looking in, I don't know whatever drug she's taking, but don't do that, kids.
Oh
But at the
God.
same
Okay.
time, what if like we find out that she knows some shit we don't know, and then we gonna feel stupid? She like aliens will come out eventually and be like, yeah, we don't like being called aliens.
Oh
Like,
no, and that's
oh
why we're destroying this goddamn planet. Because
yeah,
y'all been calling us that for so long.
the only people we keeping alive is the Mexicans. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Or they're
Everybody
mad at
else
us
gotta
for
go.
giving them their name, giving it to Mexicans. Like, oh
Yeah,
man, y'all be calling us them. That's disrespectful. That's fucked up. But
but
yeah,
that shit, I
yeah.
don't know. That's weird. Is she on drugs or something like that? 'Cause I know she had like a
She
history of drugs.
overdosed. She actually overdosed and she got resuscitated or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's sad. I don't get it. Like, is this she from Disney too?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck Disney be doing to these
Like
kids?
a High School Musical and shit.
Something like that. But Disney be doing shit to them. Goddamn. Like they got
Yeah,
him,
or
her,
Orlando
Charlotte,
Brown.
Orlando Brown, Shia LaBeouf. Disney. What is you doing? You making great Marvel movies, but y'all fucking them kids or something. I don't know. Cause
Yeah,
they
they
come
doing
around
something.
crazy.
Yeah, they either end up yeah. I don't really know one super successful one that didn't come out a little kooky.
I don't know. What about I don't. I might be wrong if he is one, but I always thought Justin Timberlake was one.
He was more of a Mickey Mouse kid, more of like a that one show, and then popped from that little old ass show back in the day. A lot of these other people stayed in Disney for hella long and growed
Yeah.
up,
Okay.
got
Growed up.
popular in these fucking shows. Fucking
Because even the Spears, Britney Spears, she fucking went crazy too. So
yeah, they're in. I feel like I don't even remember Mickey Mouse Club or
I
what
don't
that shit
either.
was even about. So I don't even know if they're on that for like seasons and seasons at a time. But I know Orlando Brown was on That's So Raven for at least 6 seasons.
Yeah, and
A big chunk of his kid.
he seemed normal. And the bad thing about him is that motherfucker got bars when it comes to
And he can
spitting.
sing. And he can sing too.
I never heard him sing, but I heard the nigga spit and he got bars. But that motherfucker is, I don't know if he's still on that shit, but for a
He is,
long
bro.
time, that motherfucker was twisted.
Oh
It was
yeah.
all bad.
I followed him on Instagram. He would be doing weird ass shit and be saying and having some weird ass allegations. Talk about Nick Cannon and Will Smith did shit to him. And a bunch of weird ass shit. Like I didn't understand what was going on with him. Talking about Raven Simone had his baby, but she had an abortion or something. Just hella weird ass shit. He was
He
going off
remind
the
me,
deep end.
he remind me, I was watching this video recently. I forgot the fuck it was on. Some like chick who was like a straight crackhead or something. But she was having conversations talking about how Boosie was in love with her, but he wanted to stay with his wife, and this is going on about shit, and everybody was just sitting there listening to her, like, yeah, but but she had all these weird ass different allegations about these celebrities. I mean, she was just a random crackhead on the street, and I'm like, damn, that reminded me of Orlando Brown. It did. I
Nah,
was like, damn.
damn.
But
You never know in these Hollywood streets, they could have ruined a lot of people that are now crackheads. You know what I mean? Because people go there to fucking live their dreams, and sometimes those dreams don't always come to fruition, and these people be failing out there, man.
yeah, the
Kids.
majority of the time they don't. That's why they got so many fucking homeless people out there because they go out there for this fantasy and realize that it don't work that way. It don't
And
work
they,
like
somebody from New York, I heard say recently, they don't like to go to LA because everybody in LA works somewhere, doesn't want to be what they're working to be. They want to be something else. Everywhere
mm,
you go, it's like, okay, you're at the fucking, at a restaurant. The waiter doesn't want to be a waiter. They want to be a fucking actor. Oh, you're
mm-hmm.
at the DMV. They don't want to be a fucking DMV worker. They want to fucking be a screenwriter or some shit like
Yeah.
that. So nobody really gives their full at what they do because they want to do something else, and that's their focus and ultimate goal.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a weird way to look at it, but I understand. It's like, fuck, I don't think I could ever be in a place like that where it's so much go, 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 go. And even people do whatever it takes to try to get to that bigger dream. And that's what keeps them alive and aspired out there to do bigger things. It's just like, fuck, I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna work this fucking waitress, this fucking server job, 24 hours, 48 hours, straight, just so I can fucking become, just have
But
free
you
time
got
to go to these scripts, these acting, these auditions and shit like that. It's wild.
you got to think how much that sucks once it clicks in their head that fuck I've been doing this shit for like 20 plus years. This is not gonna happen.
Right.
So I've been literally miserable for the past 20 plus years, hoping for something to happen, and like it just has to click at one point and be like, fuck, this ain't gonna happen. Like
Depending on what you're trying to do, for sure, because people that kind of just move out to LA hella early in life, it's like, fuck, you got to really have a plan because that shit is expensive as fuck. So you're already going to be
yeah,
struggling to catch up. So then after that, you're going to try to find and try to finance that dream that you actually came there for. It's risking a lot. I feel it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, fuck, how could you ever be, I don't know. It kind of sounds kind of selfish because it sounds like it's more steered towards service jobs, but it's like, fuck.
I mean a
You
lot of it is though.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, how could you want good service and people to be happy that they are where they are when you are getting and paying for stuff, you know what I mean? But at the same time, this person doesn't want to
Yeah.
work at this place. But
But I
yep,
mean, I guess it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter for the DMV because I mean, everybody at DMV. I think you have to like that's like a job requirement. When you go to an interview, you got to be an asshole at your
a
interview.
dick,
They're
yeah.
like, you're hired. You're hired.
They
Like,
always
yeah, in my
fight.
interview, he told me to shut the fuck up. He's hired.
Yeah, yeah. And he responded hella negative. What the fuck did you say? Perfect. Perfect. I'll hire you. Snap back at the customers. Perfect. I love it. You wear khaki, you want to wear blue jeans at work? Blue jeans and a t-shirt? For sure. You're the right person. Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's just
Yeah.
wild
Make
over
sure,
there.
make sure, make sure your interview don't look me in the eyes because you don't look nobody now. When you're talking to the DMV, they always just look down and there you go, sign that.
And it's wild. I
Line
get
in the
it
wrong
because I work
line.
at a call center, but it's like, shit, I feel like at there, they probably have to do the same shit all day. All day. So many people come through there. But still, they get to dress casual. They get to wear whatever the fuck they want to wear to work.
Yeah,
You can't complain about shit.
nah, I
Even my
feel it.
goddamn tags, pay this goddamn ticket, whatever. But anyways, yeah, Demi Lovato. I don't know. Me personally, I don't know what she's thinking. If she did have an overdose, it could be some, adverse effects of her overdose. But
Did she
how
recently
the
have an overdose?
yeah, I think it was like within the last 2 or 3 years. So any overdose is a
Yeah,
big
I
deal.
mean, well, that's a
Could
big
have
deal
lost
right
some
now
brain cells.
with celebrities. A lot of celebrities is going because of the
Fentanyl. I think that might have been that case too.
and the cocaine. Yeah, I know. Like the what's that one actor's name? The one with the scar on his face. He recently died because of that.
Oh yeah.
Some comedians. One of them was named like Fu, something like that. He's a dude from New York, but he's always on like a bunch of comedy skits and shit. Motherfucker was funny as shit. He died from that. He was at a party with some other people, and 3 of the 4 people all died from it. One of them was in the hospital, and I think almost all of them are comedians.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and the girl was kind of the one who lived. She's kind of popular. She's the kind of popular comedian. I mean, so was he, but yeah, it was a fucked up situation. And then I think DMX even had that some out same thing with him.
Mm.
So yeah, that shit is crazy. They putting that shit in everything. They put in the weed. Whoever's doing that is fucking dickheads and is gonna
And
straight to hell.
maybe,
I
and
mean,
also maybe Shock G too. I think might have happened to him. Not 100%.
might have to charge you too.
Yeah,
Probably,
but a
probably.
lot of these people. Yeah, RIP to all these people. But it is getting kind of
Definitely.
wild, and yeah, I don't think she's going anywhere with these claims because I feel like again, bringing it back to us black folks, man, we've been trying so hard to get this N-word erased from people calling us the hard R forever, ever in this country, and they have not once got rid of this word. How you think we're gonna take you seriously for 1 second? Talk about aliens don't like to be called aliens; they like to be called ETs. E fucking T's, like the fucking movie ETs. Come
I
on now.
mean, we ain't gonna never be successful with getting them to stop calling us the hard R because we always say that, with the A at the end. I'm fucking guilty of that shit. I probably said it 3 or 4 times in this video already or more.
Oh
But
yeah, true.
yeah, like I don't know. That to me was just like she's literally probably just doing drugs again. Literally, probably she's probably doing drugs again. And I don't know. Like sometimes I think tabloids shouldn't interview people when they see they're in a certain state. I think instead of doing that, they should like hit up their manager, like hit people up, like, "Hey, I need to take her to some kind of clinic or something like that." But tabloids and media like to, they put out shit because they want to get people looking at them, and that's what gets them
Right,
views
yeah.
and
The
money.
media
So
thing again, they don't give a fuck how she feels. She just knows they know it'll be a story. Either people gonna make fun of her or people gonna take her seriously regardless. It's a story for the week. They need a
hmm
couple for the week. So Demi Lovato is gonna be the story for this week, which I thought was pretty interesting.
yeah, I don't think anybody's taking her serious with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's roll
maybe
into
the
Squid. Oh, what?
maybe the aliens.
Maybe the aliens. Speaking of aliens, I'm just kidding. This has nothing to do with aliens, but Squid Game. Let's review that real quick. How do you feel about Squid Games? The world record. Excuse me. A Squid Game's taking the world by storm. One of the most watched Netflix shows ever in each like in
Yeah,
like a bunch of countries.
Netflix needs to pay like fucking social media influencers and stuff because the only reason I watched that was because everybody that I was on Instagram, you would just see people making memes of it left and right
Mhm.
on YouTube and shit. And I was like, I seen it on there and I was like, okay, it says number one. I started to play it and I was like, nah, this doesn't seem interesting. Turned it off. And then I just kept seeing a fucking bunch of shit on social media where people were like mimicking it. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I'll watch it now because maybe like what they're showing, like people getting smoked, playing red light, green light, seemed interesting.
Yeah,
So I watched it. It was a good show, but I
yeah,
mean, if it wasn't for that, I would have never watched that shit.
right.
Um,
I kind of
and
I kind of feel like people that watch anime wouldn't get a really good rise out of this show because I think it kind of resembled that. If it was anime, I feel like it would have been way better.
yeah,
If it was
definitely,
animated, they could have done way more with it. And I feel like
yeah,
the shock value people got from it, I'm like, what? This is not even. People were talking about how the killings of the people was interesting. The worst thing I saw was like, the fight scenes when dude was stabbing everybody up in their bunks. That shit
nah,
was kind of brutal.
the worst
But
one was old girl who got her throat slit at the end by oh boy,
oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that was shitty.
but yeah, the rest of it wasn't really all that bad. It wasn't like nothing that was super brutal. Maybe the people falling to their death, but that wasn't even that bad. It was just like
They didn't
them
really show
falling and some blood
it.
splatter.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And how'd you feel about the characters? Because I feel like they made you like a lot of the characters, but I feel like it all led up to not much. Like the girl who
So
got her
I
throat slit, I was
get
like, what the fuck? What was the point of her character if you're gonna kill her off like that?
yeah, I didn't really care too much for her. Like the only characters that I really cared about in the show were the Indian dude and the old man.
Hmm.
And the Indian dude's his was fucked up because even at the end like with him helping out the girl's brother and then that one dude's mother. What happened to the any dude's family? That dude saved your fucking life. That dude was, a couple times actually, and he was like the nicest dude on the show. And they showed at the beginning that he had a family.
Mhm.
Nobody, like, they didn't even show you sending a check to his family or something, or trying to find his family to help them out. He was just like, oh, he's dead, whatever. Like, so his character to me was pointless because like they had him being super nice and super like innocent just to kill him off for no reason and not get anything out of that. The main character I fucking hated. I wanted him to die from the get go. I don't know why. I
Yeah.
hated him. I still hate him to the end. Like
Mhm.
I don't think that he was he deserved to be the one to win. Like this motherfucker ended it and didn't even go see his daughter. Like what the fuck? Like what wasn't doing this for your daughter? Your mom passed away. All you got left is your daughter. You didn't go. You fucking rich as shit. Go see your daughter. I don't understand.
Yeah, it didn't really
I
make
didn't
sense
get
at
that.
all to me.
Yeah.
Either like the brother connection, either dude was going in there to get his brother. That didn't really make sense to me either, because ultimately he didn't find his
Yeah.
brother, and nothing really
No, he
happened.
did.
Oh, he did.
What do you mean? His
What
brother
did?
killed him.
Wait, what?
His brother was
American.
the main dude.
Oh, with the
Huh?
mask on? No, no, I'm talking about the guy that was
Yeah,
pretending to be a cop to look for his brother. And the brother wasn't the guy that in the game. The guy that was
no,
fucking
the guy, no, the guy who was a cop who was pretending to be one of them, who was disguised
yeah.
as one of them. That was
Uh-huh.
his brother. His brother was the main guy with the black mask.
Oh, I thought the guy that was in the game that kind of was like that knew everything also. You know, the main character had the friend in the game that betrayed the
Yeah.
Indian dude. I thought that was his brother as well. That he was going in the
No,
game to look for, and then he realized that somebody that other guy was related to them too.
no, the other guy was his brother. The one he was looking for was the dude with the black fight. He ended up shooting him. But no, the guy who was hella smart was just that
Because
lady's
he already
son.
knew all the games and shit.
He
Because
he
not
didn't
because like the guy with the
he didn't
glasses.
know him. He didn't know him. He just like figured it out. He was real smart.
Because he was like, the dude, when they were picking their symbols to cut out the figures, he was like, oh shit. The dude said he'll pick the umbrella. That's when he was like, fuck, are you sure? Like, because he knew it was already coming. I thought,
Yeah.
and my interpretation the whole time was that that guy was that cop dude's brother. He was trying to infiltrate the game to look for him. Then he looked in the records and saw that dude has been there before and was actually, I don't know. So maybe I was kind of
Yeah,
lost in that.
I don't know. I was confused because the names are hard to recognize. When whoever's name it was in the record, I don't know whose name that was. I did It showed the
Oh.
name, but I didn't really pay attention to. I couldn't put two and two together whose name it was. I don't know who it was, but that smart guy was just a dude who was hella smart who fucked up his finances and put his mom's business up, basically for collateral and was losing his mom's business. So he was in there because he didn't want to, fuck his mom's business up. I don't think he had anything to do with the cop dude.
Oh.
The cop dude was just trying to find his one brother, and he ended up finding his brother, and his brother shot him and killed him. So, I mean, I don't think he killed him because it's one of those situations where he shot
Yeah,
him and he fell into the ocean and he could
yeah,
survive. But
yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Definitely
that was a.
survived.
I'm assuming there's gonna be a part two,
Hmm.
and so he's gonna come back for part two, maybe. But yeah, as far as like the first season, his character was kind of pointless. So I'm assuming they're gonna bring him back for another part. But yeah, I don't know. The main character was stupid.
Hmm.
And the old man, like the second that he died, and then they showed that scene where like the guy was putting his mask on, supposed to be the head dude. I knew it was him because his body language and shit was exactly the same as the old man's. Because the old man like seems like he's all bold, everything is like all like bow legged, and his arms is like that. And I was like, oh, that's the old dude. So the old dude
Hmm.
clearly isn't dead. And they didn't show the old dude die. You just saw the guy put the gun to his head, and then like the screen panned away, and you heard a gunshot. So I was like, it's clearly the old dude. And then it
And
ended up being, huh?
yeah, I just knew, I like again bringing it back to anime. I always know the old people are always wiser than they seem. They may seem like they're old and senile, but they always have ulterior motives, and they're always the smartest people in the thing. I didn't
Yeah.
really suspect that he was in charge and he put it together because he just wanted to fucking watch these people do this shit. I just figured that he was letting, like, especially the marble scene, I felt like he was letting the dude win and take advantage of him until he got down to that one marble. He was like, oh, I don't have any more. Could I have one of yours? And the dude was like, nah. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
actually, I got one more. He's like, if you're gonna be like that, he's like, if you're gonna be like that, I'm gonna fucking work your ass then. I knew from that moment that dude knew what he was doing. I knew it. Like, even when he was in the bed and he peed on himself, I knew that was fake too. All that shit was just built up to.
And he was having too much fun. Like when he was playing the games, he said he was having way too much fun. So yeah, but I mean, as soon as they showed that dude though, one with like the I guess supposed to be like the head of it or whatever, and they showed him from the back sitting down, like instantly I was like, oh, that's the old dude. It was like it was more so that they didn't show the old dude actually die, and just his body language was exactly the same as the old guy. So I was like, oh, it's him, and it turned out to be right. So
doesn't he end up fucking dying right after he fucking?
Yeah, they're dying at the end anyways. Yeah, he wasn't lying about the sickness.
Yeah,
but yeah. So, but it was just like the ending was the part that got me. I just didn't understand like what was the point of you like showing the daughter and the relationship at the beginning of it if you're not even going. That's not even important to you clearly.
Right.
Like,
and he got a bunch of money.
Yeah, like not you got a bunch of money and like seeing all the people die and how that organization is set up. Just go take care of your daughter.
Right. You're not gonna beat that.
Yeah, because there's a good chance that you're gonna die, and now you won't be able to take care of your daughter. Your daughter's just gonna think you're a piece of shit because technically you are. But it was like I don't know that main character to me was not like I would have rather the friend with the glasses be the main character, even though he was a jackass. But I mean, at least he was like one of them guys that he did some fucked up shit, but he really had no choice. Like, what was he gonna do? Let the Indian dude live? And at the end of the, at the end of the day, you have to. It's only one can survive.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, and it was kind of tripped too. They had the option of leaving, and they actually had to. They all ended up coming back for different reasons. It was pretty interesting as well. And of course,
then also, I'm gonna say that the information that cop got, like that shit went nowhere.
About what?
Remember when he was like recording the fat dude confessing everything?
Oh,
and then he was trying to send it out on that mountain. Like that just I'm assuming it has to be a part 2 because it's too much shit that was just like pointless.
Right, I remember. Yeah, that part. Did the cops get the call? They send him back up. Did they get the video? Like what?
Yeah, those were the worst fucking cops. First and foremost, they made them cops look stupid as fuck. And then what is that shit with the cops have to have a blank and some stupid shit? Like what the fuck? Remember his brother was he was talking to him and telling him that he how many bullets he had left. And he was like, because you shot one at the place, you fired another one in the air, and then every gun only holds every police officer only holds this many bullets in their gun, and you have one blank, so you should only have one bullet left.
Wasting a spot.
Yeah, I was like, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard. If that shit's real, they need to change that. Like, what's the point of having a gun if you only can have so many fucking bullets? It's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of wild. But yeah, ultimately it was good, but it wasn't me personally, it wasn't as good as everybody else was making it out to be. If they think that's good, they need to give anime a chance because they'll probably think it's the best thing that they ever seen because they give this shit a chance. Bruh, there's some shit out there that I'm sure you can tell the best of my listeners about. And way better storylines. It won't leave you hanging. The character won't paint his hair or dye his hair bright ass red at the end of the fucking shit for no reason.
That was pointless as fuck.
Right.
That was hella pointless.
It was a lot of shit that happened. Actually, the show grossed $900 million, I guess. However they calculated it Netflix wise, that's how much the movie has made so far. And like you said, the movie only cost how much to make?
Like 21 mil.
21 million. Shit's raw. It's very interesting, and they also given a lot more of these like Asian representation, not even representation. These movies, these directors, they're pushing these movies a lot more on Netflix, which is really good to see as well. A lot of these international movies are getting dubbed and putting out there, and people are loving them. So a lot more.
That's because they have different takes on stuff. Like a lot of American movies are either copies of other stuff from other countries and stuff, or they're just the same story retold. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these movies, especially Korea, they're doing a lot of original stuff that's like, it's never been told that way, or you've never heard of that kind of story, like that Parasite movie, which was
that shit was epic.
Yeah.
And then also Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer.
That shit was
But
interesting.
that was like Willy Wonka. I'm fucking with you, but nah, it was Snowpiercer was good. But I mean, shit, if they like speaking of anime, I've been trying to find that fucking Gungrave. Remember that shit? That's like
Yeah,
that's the one that I got you to watch for the first time when you got an anime, right?
yeah, that shit was dope.
That shit was dope. I've been trying to find that one again. That one's a good ass story. The ending was kind of whatever, but the actual story was good.
I agree. I completely agree. And just real quick here, let's get into some other Marvel news. Actually, we should have mentioned this during the DC segment when we were talking about the fandom stuff, but some dates for Phase 5 movies got pushed back for
Mhm.
some of the highly anticipated Marvel movies that we're waiting for. Black Panther 2 pushed back from July to November 11th. Doctor Strange, March 25th to May 26th, respectively. Thor Love and Thunder, May 6th to July 8th. These are all 22 and 2023 release dates. I don't remember exactly what month these are, but they are getting pushed back in their respective years. And they're all getting pushed back due to some holdups with the recordings and release of the Marvels and in Indiana Jones. I guess Harrison Ford injured his shoulder during the recording or the filming of the movie. So they got some setbacks on that, but they still are filming Black Panther 2 um, right now in Atlanta. So they're still on course and recording it. I think they're just being a little greedy personally. I think they're just all the money that Shang-Chi is making in theaters, they're trying to stretch it out a little bit.
Probably,
And
yeah.
yeah, and just have the movies in theaters as long as they can to make money off of it. And then they're gonna put the next one out and string it out as long as that as well. And just keep doing that and dropping like the Disney Plus stuff simultaneously. Also, they're
Yeah,
gonna put Shang-Chi on probably Disney Plus here very soon because they have 45 days in the theaters and they drop it to Disney Plus.
cool. If I haven't seen it yet, I don't be going to theaters. Did you see
Yeah.
that? What was it? Trailer for Resident Evil.
What the TV show? Wait, what Resident Evil the TV show?
Nah, they got a movie coming out next month.
Oh no, I didn't.
It's
Is it the
called
same people?
Nah, it's based on the games. It's called Welcome to Raccoon City. Uh, it seems low budget, but I mean, it's worth watching. It looks like they actually like follow the story of the first game,
Yeah.
the one of the mansion, but they just combined the first game and the second game characters. So instead of having like the Alpha team going in, it's the Alpha team plus Claire and Leon. You know,
Oh, nice, nice.
so yeah. But I mean, it's worth a look at the trailer. The trailer looks okay, but I just thought I brought that up because they don't do a very good job of advertising it. I saw it on the fluke. I was just like going through shit and was like, oh, it looks like Resident Evil. I'm like, oh, it is. What the fuck? And I thought it was just like somebody doing a fan video,
Hmm.
and then I actually looked it up and found out that it's a real fucking movie.
Yeah, I didn't hear
So
about it at all. So yeah,
they're
I just
getting
saw
it.
this fucking trailer for fucking Ghostbusters Afterlife with fucking Paul Rudd.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? This fool's Ghostbusters. I haven't heard nothing about this movie coming out, and
Oh,
that's just coming out November
they've been
19th.
advertising that. They've been advertising that shit for like a year or something. They always, but normally it was just like that one. It was like all you saw was the car. Like they had an advertisement always just the car driving through a field, the Ghostbusters car,
Uh,
and then it would just say Ghostbusters Afterlife. They didn't really go into detail of
oh,
what it was,
okay.
and they kept advertising it like that. I haven't seen any actual trailers or anything, but I remember seeing that like
Yeah,
about a year ago.
I saw the trailer on TV today. Paul Rudd, a bunch of kids find a little thing that they used to catch the ghost in like an attic in
Okay,
a house, and they fucking release it,
yeah,
and
it
then
makes sense.
fucking yeah,
But
and that kind of
but it's based on the original one. It's not like a remake like they did with that dumbass one, right?
right. I believe so. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's what's up.
yeah. Yep. Years and years after or whatever, and pretty much that's all we got for today. This comes to the point where I like to let them know where they can find you at. AKA, you want to let them know that where they can find you
Uh-huh.
at AKIO Young. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Akil Young on
Yep, because
Instagram.
I put that all the time when I post the post. That's how I got that in the memory dome. Um, but yeah, shit. Thanksgiving's coming soon. Um,
Halloween.
Halloween's coming soon. The seasons are changing. Everybody stay warm out there. You know where to find your boy at. It's SAC
Hey, wait, wait,
underscore.
wait. Weren't you talking about what you were gonna wear for Halloween?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be fucking. I forgot his name. It's slipping my mind, but I'm gonna be fucking Ben Stiller's character from Dodgeball from Globo Gym. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Where are you getting that outfit from?
I ordered it from Amazon.
That's fucking
It
hilarious.
comes with the wig, the mustache, the wristbands, the Globo Gym outfit, his Dodgeball outfit. So I'm gonna be sporting that shit.
What about the little pump thing he had?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get it all, man. I'm gonna get some props. I'm gonna get it going. Amber's having a Halloween party on Halloween, so I'm gonna go there and win costume of the year. And y'all see it all over Instagram. But yeah, you know where to find your boy SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snappy Chappy. That's Snapchat if you didn't know. Best of Bias on Instagram, of course. Best of Bias on YouTube, bestofbias.com. It's where you can find all our uploaded videos, uploaded episodes, newest episodes there if you don't have all our streaming services. What streaming services are those? Oh, anywhere you find your favorite podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and of course the YouTube's where you need to go like, subscribe, watch all the videos. The boy AKA has done a fantastic job curating these videos, clips, and all that. So go show some love, set a reminder, hit a like, and let us know how much you appreciate it, man. You see the pop collection coming. He's getting bigger back there. I'm still waiting for my Vegito and a couple of other characters, but you'll see it get bigger as it goes, man. You'll see it keep getting bigger. But as of now, it's the Best of Bias podcast. Thank you guys for joining us for another pop culture episode. Till next time, plenty episodes, plenty bias, plenty content to come, especially for the holiday season. We'll have tips for you. Oh yeah, we didn't talk much about the Halloween costumes, but don't wear nothing racist. If it's not your race, ethnicity, don't betray other races or ethnicity. I know we talked about PC culture, but Halloween, we kind of went off the deep end with these costumes sometimes. I know you want to be cute, I know you want to be funny, I know you want to look cool, but don't disrespect anybody in the process of doing so. Anyways, Best of Bias listeners, hey, be solid, be you, and where my theme song at? It's right here for you. Bam. Peace. Later. Cut.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful. You should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah. It's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast.